the top floor, but we started from the gutter. Starting like no one stunner. She curved me back then.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week?
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the 49ers are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
Well, we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked them, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now it's Hines. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Davis now. Forced out to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
And his kick is indeed good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Bengals drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's got a Bengals first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Joe Mixon. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 50, here's Herbert. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. Past the 20. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarter.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
To try again after the sack, Davis. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
On 3rd down, it's Hines, and they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. They get this out quickly to the left side. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They'll try the left side. Hines. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Nyheim Hines, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Back. The Bengals drive about to get going. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Second and 2. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 51 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Play action. It's Herbert. Dumps it off to Mixon. That catch good for only a couple. They should have gotten more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position, because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running set.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category, and that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you, and let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works, but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
And it really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one, because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll try the left side. Hines. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. This is Hines. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, Davis. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the end zone before going out.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Mixon with a first down carry. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 126 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. This is Mixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll try and run with Mixon. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll give it to Mixon. Stopped short. Down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. Here's a run with Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Second down and 8. Back to throw. Davis. Oh, Davis lost it. It's loose. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Both of these coaching staffs feverishly making their final plans for the second half. One of these two teams is going to get their first win. And for the call, let's kick it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Off the play fake. Davis. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Hines. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On 2nd and 9, Davis. And he's got it. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Hines. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Hines again. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Davis. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Niners take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Herbert on 1st down now. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. I certainly know that I, for one, would not like to be on the other end of a tackle when this guy's coming at you full speed from a strong safety spot. Boy, that was a nice play. They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 164 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. And that is He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Rashad Bateman there to make the grab. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. And McPherson on for the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
And going deep for Hill, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, 49ers. Well, sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. Slide for the PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 30. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Mixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And now a hook up downfield on 2nd down. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards. They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his third touchdown of the game and fourth on the year. And the Bengals have got it back to a two-score game here in the fourth. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This game was really a tussle, seemed like just a moment ago, and now they've got the momentum. A couple of scores on their last pair of drives, and a two-score lead. I think here now you go conservative, right? Run the football off the clock.
You know, I usually agree with you, but I'm going after him right here. Put this bad boy away. I wouldn't be afraid to throw it. They've got all the confidence, all the momentum on their side. Go ahead and take your dagger shots and try and finish this one off.
I disagree vehemently. I say run the football. You've got the lead.
Well, let's watch it and find out who's right.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to staff the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Davis. This to Hines on the drop-off. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be 3rd down. From the gun, Davis. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Back to throw. Davis. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back.
And the Niners are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
This game has been a lesson, a clinic in how to throw the football. I mean, even with a big lead, they're not turning off the engine. They're not getting off the gas at all. They plan to keep going at them, and it's working for them.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Hines. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to... And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great play there. Keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. On 1st down, it's Herbert. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And the Niners are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Joseph Osai there on the stop.
2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 3rd down, Hines powering through at the 35. And he is going to have the Niners 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.